Welcome back, all you color breakers, to Color Break, your third favorite comic book podcast. Thank you guys for joining us. Cody, your host, as always, joined with our co-host, Comic Book Stash. How you doing, buddy?
How's it going, buddy? I'm alive,
I
and I
know.
think I get to say that.
I know.
You know?
The hurricane. You're just getting slammed one after another. Once in a
Yeah,
century hurricanes.
yeah. Like it was like once in a century hurricanes twice in 2 weeks.
Yeah, and
So
I saw this thing. It was like the number of tornadoes that touched ground was like the second most in
yeah, dude, there was a
like
tornado. Like
130
no
tornadoes,
joke,
something like
like
that.
a mile from my house. Like I could see it from my window.
Man, I am so
Oh,
glad you're okay, dude.
yeah. Thankfully for me, the hurricane didn't really touch. Like the center of the hurricane wasn't close to me. I
Right,
do have friends who are like close to where it hit, so that kind of
right.
sucked. But they're all good. Friend of the
Nice, man.
show, yeah. I got a couple friends actually. I was trying to remember someone from C2E to 2023. Can now remember Blake.
Oh, Blake. Yeah, yeah. He's in
He
Florida.
lives
That's right.
closer to the eye of the hurricane, but
Dang, dude. Well,
everyone's
listen.
okay.
Yeah, hopefully everybody out there, if you're affected by the hurricanes, God forbid, I hope you're doing all right. But listen, enough of that sad stuff, dude. Not to harsh the mood right at the beginning.
No,
But this
I
is
need
Color
to.
Break,
Yeah,
your third favorite comic book podcast. We got a packed show for you guys today. We'll get into some more life updates near the end. That's for the real Color Break heads who stick around till the very end. But
yeah,
first, we're talking about DC All In / Absolute Batman. Gonna get into what we've been reading. A little bit of horror recommendations. So if you guys are looking for some spooky recs, definitely stick around for that. And then
hmm
we'll talk about what we've been watching as a little catch up. Because it's been a while, man. It's been a while
it
since
has
we
been a minute,
got on the
but
mic, dude.
we both had things going on. You, life, me, storms.
Dude, we'll get into it in the life update part, but man, it is settled down a lot more. So I'm excited to
Good.
add Color Break back into our lives and
Yeah,
get our message out to the world.
yeah. Our message of like, hey, we planned this today.
Yeah, exactly. Hey man, should we record tomorrow? Yeah, sure, let's do it.
I
But dude,
Before we start, I was
yeah,
talking
yeah.
to from the show Ivan Euro's gift, and
Classic friend of the
he was like
show.
what are the topics for today's show? I was like, no idea, and he was like, damn, how are you guys gonna do it? And I was like, I feel like that's every show. We
Yeah,
just
that's
show
how I
up.
feel too.
We show up. That's good. That's how we do it. That's why we're your third favorite, not number 2 or 1.
Yeah, right, right. That's where we try to land, right in the third. You guys know how it works, man.
I think we got to fourth favorite in this little break we took, but we're gonna
Right, we
right
got to
back.
build our way back up. We got to build our way back up.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that's some good stuff. You know what else has been good?
What?
DC's All In Initiative. We're in week 2, man. But
Yeah.
let's start where everybody's gonna want to start, dude. Let's just get into it. Stop dilly dallying, man.
Yeah.
Absolute Batman is here. The Batman who lifts. What'd you think of it,
I
dude?
Well, for do you want to talk about how I got the book?
Right. Because as everybody
Um,
knows, I mean, the hurricane hit you guys on New Comic Book Day,
yeah,
Wednesday.
I was gonna say it's the worst possible day, but any day is bad. And imagine that, like people like with flooded homes, and I'm like, I couldn't get absolute Batman, dude.
It was so good. No, it was really good though.
No, I get it.
Hmm.
I did post a story tagging DC, and they did not message me back.
James Gunn
We
didn't hook you up,
try,
dude.
we
Nice.
tried, but yeah, Cody had to send me pictures of each page.
I know, and it was
Um,
tough to not get a glare, dude. Hopefully those did the job for you. Hopefully
I
they did the art justice.
they worked. I mean, I'm still gonna buy it just for DC
Hmm.
out there, like being like, oh, you guys send pictures, the comics. No, I'm gonna buy it. I still want to own it.
Oh yeah, that's why I wasn't. I'm not worried about the cops or anything. I know Christian's gonna buy it at some point.
I
Make sure
cannot
you
have an
delete those
incomplete.
messages.
Yeah, no, I cannot have an incomplete collection. So I'm gonna have Absolute Batman number 2. I gotta have Absolute Batman number 1.
Yeah, dude. Tell me though, how'd you think of it, dude? Because everybody, the hype was real, the buzz going in. Everybody was talking about it who got to read it early. And I'll just say for myself, I think it met all my expectations, even exceeding them. I will say. So yeah, what
Yeah,
do you think, dude?
first of all, like from page 2, right? I like that it says the Zoo Part 1 of 5
Mm.
because it kind of tells me like this is just like a little arc. And it was so good that I was like, I hope this just run. It's like Ultimate Spider-Man, you know. I hope this just goes on.
Mm.
I hope it's like its own Batman, you know. Like we're gonna
I
have
think
his
I
again.
think it definitely will be an ongoing, broken into the arc structure. It seems like that's kind of what DC's been leaning on,
Yeah, and I
breaking in and
like
bringing the
that.
arc.
Like
So
honestly, reading it, like it's totally different. And I was confused. I didn't read any of the Absolute Power comic books. And
right.
if you think I'm stupid for that, like leave a comment. It's just gonna boost this show. Um, but it was one of those things where I was like, you know, like I'm not interested in events like that anymore. So I just jumped into Absolute Batman. Confused, but I think did I need to read Absolute Power to really know?
Yes, I'll just say right now, you definitely don't need to have read Absolute Power to start reading Absolute Batman. A lot of people might be wondering that, and it kind of makes sense because the name Absolute. But the only thing that really happened in Absolute Power that you might, it's kind of like they didn't even explain like the creation of the Absolute Universe really. So you can just start reading
Okay,
Absolute Batman, man. I think that's probably going to be
okay.
explained maybe in other events later on or in the main continuity. But other than that,
I'm
I
gonna be
think
honest with
you're
you.
good to do Absolute Universe everything. So yeah,
I'm gonna be honest with
lay
you.
it on me,
I
dude.
don't need to explain it. I don't need the explanation.
That's the thing. It's like something with Doomsday, and he was like
I don't need it.
bored in the main continuity, and he's like, I want a new universe that's all my own, essentially. So it's like you're in the Doomsday universe where everything is more chaotic. That's all you really need to know. But you don't even need to know that. It's just a new, fresh start for Batman.
No,
So yeah,
it's like when I was reading Ultimate Spider-Man, I was never like, why are we here?
exactly. That's a
It's
great way to put it, man. That's a great way to put it. Like, because there is, more lore if you are into that. Like, I know our good buddy, You're the Collector friend of the show, he's like
mm-hmm.
becoming the lore expert on everything Ultimate Universe. But if you just want to read Ultimate Spider-Man,
Yeah,
totally you can do that. So that's perfect analogy. I think that's a great way to look at it. So yeah,
yeah. So I liked it a lot. I think the art's phenomenal. I forget who did it because I didn't have the physical book.
Nick Dragotta
Uh,
as the art.
really good.
Yeah,
It reminded me a lot of like sort of like well, like the Batman run that Scott Snyder did previous. It had that same feeling. Um,
beautiful stuff, dude.
beautiful. Yeah, no, it was phenomenal. I like the fact that like when they were fighting and like you can give your thoughts on this after when they're fighting like Batman's really like getting like he's stabbing people, you know.
Right, and
But then you get Alfred who's not normal, like they never met
right.
before because spoiler alert, Bruce's parents are alive. Well, Bruce's mom is alive. Uh, he's like, oh, he didn't hit any arteries.
Yeah, they made it a point. They're like, this guy, he's destroying them, but Alfred's like, I'll
Yeah,
make note that he's not killing them. So that's
yeah.
good to know
But
that
make
this
note that
Batman
he's
still
really
doesn't
good at
kill.
this.
Mm.
Yeah, he's really good at this shit. But I guess like losing his dad still kind of drove him to it, you know?
Yeah, yeah. It'll be interesting to see. Like, I mean, that's it's kind of like a mystery. I guess technically we don't know if the dad was shot. I guess we can make an assumption,
Yeah,
but yeah, it's kind of vague at this point. And dude, that when I turned the page and I saw, spoiler it again. I don't know if anybody heard Christian, but Batman's mom's alive. That's just like an insane twist. I never even thought about that being a twist for Batman because you think about all the
no,
different
yeah,
Elseworld stories and all the different ways you can remix the Batman lore. It's like, oh,
yeah,
what if just his mom was still alive? I mean, that changes everything, dude. I mean, his whole upbringing is like different. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So
She's like cute and everything.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
This is
sure,
my one
sure.
take. I didn't even read that page. I think
She was in like one panel, but yeah, sure.
I was just like,
If you're hot for
nah,
Mrs. Wayne, then yeah,
nah, dude. It was definitely surprised. I like every twist this book had
yeah,
because I feel like every page was a twist.
yeah. No, I mean, just like the world that they're building is just so cool,
Yeah,
and I don't know, man. It's just so exciting to be in the spot for comic books. You got Ultimate Spider-Man, you got Absolute
yeah. You can
Batman. It's
just
just so
join in,
sick.
dude.
I know, dude.
You
It's
can
so
just join
sick.
in.
Yeah, yeah,
It's the perfect jump. You want to read comics? Jump in right now.
dude.
Absolute Batman #1.
No, I mean, I think Scott Snyder and Joshua Williamson and the folks at DC are being very smart about it. They're like, hey, this DC All In event, all of our chips are on the table, right? And you know, if we're done talking about Absolute Batman, I'm not sure, but just the rest of the All In titles have been super solid as well. So
I think
really exciting stuff,
as long as they don't like make it like an event, we're good. You know,
right?
like the original like 2001 was it 2001 Ultimate Spider-Man? Like that was just its own thing,
Yeah, yeah. Like the Ultimate
and I liked
Universe
it.
doing its own thing on the side. They kind of built
Yeah,
into
that's
the, you know, the incursion
that's what
events and
they
all that stuff. But
that's what they should. Yeah, but that was at the end. That's like what, like 100 issues in.
no, no, 100%. Yeah, after however many years for sure.
The only event I can think that Spider-Man had was like with the Ultimates,
Right,
but that's in the second Omni. I think that's it, really. And then like of course then you get Secret Invasion,
right.
and then it's like a big event. But like for the most part, it was just like its own thing, and I like that. And I think that's what they should do with the Absolute books. I
I'm with
think.
you.
I mean, Absolute Wonder Woman looks phenomenal. Absolute Superman, he looks terrifying.
Yeah, dude, I am here
I'm
for.
excited.
Yeah, so everything Absolute should be awesome. At this point of recording, at this time of recording, only Absolute Batman has been out so far.
Yeah.
But dude, the rest of the All In lineup is really solid too. I'll just drop some stuff, right? So Chip Zdarsky, he
Yeah.
started
Go
his
ahead.
new arc. So for those that weren't able to pick it up, interesting new stuff. You got a new villain entering the kind of what's going on.
Yeah.
Um, it's just it feels good. It's got Jorge Jimenez back on the art, right? So I'm liking the new
Yeah, no,
direction for Batman.
it looks great, dude. I'm excited. I'm really really excited.
Yeah,
I read it probably like 30 minutes before we recorded.
nice. You
And it
also
was one of those things where you just immediately you're like, "Oh, this is going to be big."
right?
You know it. Like it's no doubt. It's like, "Oh, this is going to be fucking great."
Yeah, dude. We also have over on the Superman side, we got Dan Mora coming on as the artist for a little bit, so that'll be really cool. We
Which I know you're excited about.
Dude, Dan Mora is such a G, man. We have Mark Waid writing Action Comics, so he's doing a 12 issue arc.
Yeah, I heard.
So I don't know, man. Just really exciting stuff. New Nightwing team coming on.
You know what? I will say, like, I'm happy because I was kind of losing DC a little.
That's what I was wondering, dude. That's kind of what I was trying to get at. Is if are these kind of things like pulling you in, right? Like we have, just looking like the new Nightwing art, the new Nightwing creative team that looks pretty interesting to me. The new JSA
Honestly,
stuff,
like,
New God stuff.
I think maybe I'm gonna keep just like, and this is gonna be maybe insane to say, probably just gonna keep Batman,
Yep.
Poison Ivy, Superman, and Wonder Woman.
Okay. Yeah. Listen, and
I can't think.
I totally get you,
I
man.
can't think.
I don't
I
think.
can't think of anything else like I'm really reading like that.
Yeah, no, those are like for me. I always want to keep track on what's going on with the big three, right? The big three over
Yeah,
at DC. So, like you said, Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman. I just like to know what's going on with them. And then, yeah, I mean, if you pick up like the Absolute stuff as well, I mean, that should be pretty sick. And then Poison
yeah,
Ivy's just been solid for the longest time, right? So,
Po- yeah. Like Poison Ivy, I'm behind, but it's one of those books that like I'm waiting for that Omni to just arrive.
dude, like
I'm waiting for that Omni.
that should be cool, man.
I'll throw away any of the ones I have right now. Like just to make space on the shelf. Like God, it looks so good.
Or like a compendium if they could do like one of those softcover compendiums. That'd
No,
be
no,
cool
no.
too.
I want
The hardcover,
Poison Ivy. Like is one of those series that like G. Willow Wilson just put everything into it,
right?
and I need it to be in the best form, like a full Omni, beautiful spine. Like I want it to be its own thing.
I'm here
And
for it,
like
man.
it's just one of those books that like honestly like everything I've read Poison Ivy so far, there hasn't been a single miss.
Yeah, dude. You're when I close my eyes, I can picture the dust jacket with the beautiful
Yeah,
beautiful
that issue
artwork.
number 1. Yeah,
Um,
God.
listen.
Yeah.
So like,
We could just talk about that today.
well, dude, I was gonna say right. So like that's all I kind of got for DC. Is just an exciting time for DC fans, new readers and lapsed readers. If you guys are thinking about jumping on, now's the perfect time. We got all new creative teams jumping on, new arcs starting, new universes with the Absolute stuff. So yeah,
Yeah.
definitely a great time to jump on to see what's going on with the DC side of
Yeah.
things.
My one complaint about DC before we move
Yeah,
on,
yeah.
uh, they gotta get their shit together and get me more Doom Patrol, because that Doom Patrol run that we had,
Dude, true actually. You forget.
that's the only thing I want. It's like it was perfect.
Dude,
I,
I listen. I don't think that's very far off, right? Like, I think that if you're looking at what DC's kind of doing with their All In and stuff, they've got all sorts of different obscure stuff. They got a new Batgirl series that's starting. I mean, obscure.
yep.
It's not. It's a Bat Family
Yeah,
member,
really
but
obscure.
you know what I mean. But it's like they're not doing. It's not just like another Batman title, right? Like
Yeah.
it seems like they're kind of reaching in and doing some more obscure kind of things, like New Gods. You know what I'm saying? Like New
Yeah.
Gods hasn't had a
I
series in
just
so long.
we gotta get some silly back into it, you know?
I know they need the silly with the Doom Patrol. It's true actually. It's a really good
Because the
point.
dark, we can get into the dark. The Black Label.
Yeah,
I don't know if
dude.
that's in your
No, let's
cards.
get into it, man. Let's start talking about just some stuff we've been reading and with
Yeah.
a kind of slant, right? Because everything I'm gonna be bringing up, it kind of reminds me of like a fall type of read. Like all these
Yeah,
things
yeah.
might be a little spookier, a little more,
We're gonna transition,
little
I think. If
darker.
you, do you want me to start so we can transition beautifully into the Halloween part?
Yeah, dude. Let's talk about some DC Black Label because DC Black Label's been on fire lately. So I think you sent me.
D
There were two series that you wanted to talk about. One of them,
yeah.
a return of a favorite series, Nice
Yeah.
House, by the
Nice House
Sea.
by the Sea, dude.
Lay it on me, dude. How you
Beautiful.
liking this? Issue number 3 came out last week, I believe, or 2 weeks
They
ago.
it's my here's the thing, loving Nice House, the Nice House universe, the Nice House verse.
Yep.
As much as I love it, there are things that I like, and this is my criticism from day one. I just feel like it reads better as a collected edition.
I know. Yeah, we've been saying that for a
Because
while too, and I know a lot of people
e-
agree with us.
every time I have to read a new issue, I have to read the previous one. It's a lot of characters, and like I feel like, I mean, if with any indie book, like you don't know these characters from the get go, you know. So they'll mention some characters, and I'm like, who the hell are we talking about again?
Yeah,
Even if the characters on screen on the paper, I'm like, who? But having said that, the story took a beautiful twist that I did not expect.
mm,
Like they're getting more into like why they're in the house, like why there's different houses. It feels like a game show kind of, but
yeah.
like not really. I like it, dude. It's and the art is beautiful as always. The writing's phenomenal. It's just one of those things that like when they announced a sequel, I kept it to myself. I was like, I don't want this, dude. I really don't care for a sequel. It was perfect as it was. And
Now
then
you're here for it.
issue number issue number one, it was like getting punched in the stomach. How good it was.
Mm.
It was honestly like the last page of issue number one was I was like, okay, we're back. Never mind. Yeah, no. Give me 5 sequels. I don't care. Give me every sequel. Like, just cut all comics out of production.
Just do Nice House.
Continue Nice
Well, dude,
House.
it's funny. I mean, sort of related, but I saw that Tiny Onion today. They announced like a partnership with some another company. So there's going to be more James
Yeah,
Tynion the fourth
for
series coming out. So that dude
the
stays busy, man. He's got his fingers in
the
every pie.
James Tynionification of comics, dude.
I know. Listen, I've been liking Nice House as well. I'm glad that it's back. Interesting stuff, like Christian's saying, in regards to like the overall story, like why there are multiple houses, kind of what's
Yeah,
going on, like only one house can win type of thing. Like
yeah,
that's interesting. And then, but like Christian's saying, it's the criticism we've been saying since the get go. I mean, it's just such a character driven, and like they all have these different
yeah,
relationships that go back decades, and we're just getting a
yeah,
glimpse of it. So it's kind of hard to like, you might get a little whiplash trying to keep track of everything.
yeah.
But
I
yeah,
will say this: like, it's not a criticism against the writing because we might just be stupid,
no,
you
it
know?
definitely, dude. If you read this in a trade, like I know for a fact we would not have these issues. It is just we
Yeah,
read so many things month to month that it's like,
because I will say when I started reading Nice House on the Lake, it was already on like issue 6,
right. So you get that
and
initial,
I had no problem reading the first 6
right.
issues because I sat down and just read them, and I understood everything. And then they took like a 6-month break, and I was like, oh, okay, God, forgot everything. Cool, man. But yeah, I mean, it's still my favorite series. Like I'm not even gonna lie. I still love it as much as I loved the day one. I still have my number one signed back there, 9.8.
Nice, dude. Yep, yep.
It makes me happy, very happy. Keep it going, James.
We're here for it. We're huge fans, James. Huge fans, man. Keep it up. Let's talk about the other DC Black Label series that you were telling me about. Plastic Man No More, dude.
And no more.
You want to talk about
Yeah,
horror? You want to talk about body horror?
it's kind of like inching more towards the horror aspect,
Yeah.
and also very lighthearted. I kind of like related in some way to like him because everyone just sees him as a joke,
Mm.
and that's how I feel like I joke a lot. Like I'm fucking stupid most of the time, you know. And whenever I'm like, I've had it when I'm like writing like a script for like a short film or something, and I show it to someone, and like their first reaction is like, "Oh, it's serious."
Right. They're surprised that
Yeah,
they would assume you'd be like the funny. I got you. Yeah.
yeah, and it's I get it. Like he's having like the worst time of his life, and everyone's just like, "Man, you're so silly.
I know it.
You're such a goofball." And like it's like, dude, he's dying.
So let me quickly give the setup for those that didn't get a chance to read it. So Plastic Man he's been shot by a death ray, so he's starting to unravel molecularly. So he's starting to come
Yeah,
apart. He's not able to heal himself. He's also a deadbeat dad, so he's dealing with the guilt that's associated with being on your
yeah,
deathbed, but being having all the guilt from being a deadbeat dad. Also, his son has the same power, so he's worried that his son might fall victim to the molecular
yeah.
unraveling at some point.
Because
So
the thing is, like, I think like it just accelerated something that was gonna happen
exactly, right,
regardless.
right. That's what the doctor was saying or whatever. She's like, this would have happened eventually, but your death ray made it speeded up. So,
Yeah, and I think like the thing to me is like at first I was like, oh, the kid has like a long time, but I was like, no, like Plastic Man got the powers late in, like not late into his life, like let's say
mm,
20s.
good point.
In his 20s, the kid was born with them,
Right. So
so the
he's
kid's like at the same level as him basically.
whoa,
Give him a
that's a
couple
good
of
point,
years,
dude.
he
Yeah,
might be
yeah, yeah.
gone.
No, that's a good point,
So
dude.
that's when I was like, oh, that's why it's so like necessary right now. They can't wait.
I've been liking it, dude, because as someone who hasn't read like any Plastic Man at all, right? It's just such a just to look at a character that I don't have really any experience with. As far as like the
Yeah,
characterization, like it seems like they got the jokey type of guy, right? Like you're saying. I don't know if it's like
yeah,
comic book accurate from whatever, but this is a DC Black Label series, so you guys gotta keep it down with that stuff, dude. That like pisses me off more than anything is when people go nuts about
yeah,
characterizations in a DC Black Label series. But anyways, that's a whole other
yeah. It's
conversation.
like, and then which I think like it might be like a transitional period into like maybe the Halloween like aspect of it. We're getting Batman Full Moon,
Right.
which I know nothing about,
Dude,
but it looks really
so
good.
that one, I'll be honest with you, wasn't on my radar because it seems like just another DC Black Label Batman on it, right? But the artist
Yeah.
is Steven Subic or whatever. He's
Okay.
the guy who did Riddler Year One, the one that was written by
Okay.
Paul Dano with just like the
Yeah.
insane artwork. So now that one has shot up on my I got to check it
Yeah.
out list because with
And
his
then
artwork, yeah.
yeah. And then we have I don't think it's Black Label. We got a DC Horror Presents, which like it's I believe it's an anthology series. And I have thoughts on anthology series normally. So I don't know. What are your thoughts on anthologies, Cordy?
No, I see you're trying to set me up for a segue, but we're not ready for the.
You
No,
you're
actually,
not
you know
done.
what? That's a good point. There's a lot of different horror anthology series.
Yeah.
So I had a big block to talk about anthology series just in general, but Christian's right, dude. Most of these are ongoing right now, and there are things that we've read recently.
Yeah.
So tell me,
And I don't
dude,
think any of them are non-scary.
right? And tell me, dude, about what's coming out of EC Comics, Oni Press. Tell
EC
me about
Comics.
Epitaphs from the Abyss and Cruel
Yeah, I think I
Universe,
got it
dude.
right here, homie. I think I got it right here.
Because listen, if we're talking horror, if we're talking anthologies, horror or otherwise, this is some good stuff, dude. EC Comics
Like
is
it's
back. They're just knocking it out of the
dude,
park every issue.
I was very like stubborn because you told me to read that shit like 2 months ago.
Mm.
when Cruel Universe #1 came out, and I was like, I'm good. And I think I was at the store the other day, and I saw it, and I was like, you know what? Cody recommended it. It's right there.
It's got a
I'm
cool
just gonna
cover,
pick
right?
it up. I tell you this: if you want like a sort of like a compliment to the series, I bought it. Issue #1. That's it. Just issue #1 of Cruel Universe. And the next day, I went back and bought what is it, 2 and 3, and
At
then
this
I
point,
bought
might be. Yeah, yeah.
Epitaph. I bought Epitaph from the Abyss, all of them. Like I was like, I'm gonna catch up on anything EC Comics.
Yeah, dude. So it sounds like you've been loving him, man. Cody's got another great
Yeah,
recommendation. Old news. He's full of them. He's full of great recommendations,
yeah,
dude.
dude. What do you think?
No, dude. I've been
Tell
loving
me.
all the EC
Talk to me.
comic stuff. I've said it before, right? I just as someone who's back from my childhood, just a fan of things like Twilight Zone. That always
Yeah,
just scratches an itch. Like one episode, it's just one story, all new characters,
yeah.
and it ends, and you feel a little uneasy, dude. There's nothing like it. It's awesome.
I
So these
that was like
anthologies have
my
been awesome.
jumping on point. My jumping on thing was like, okay, so there's the scary ones and the sci-fi. I'm not a scary guy
Mm.
normally. I'm gonna jump into sci-fi because that's more my wheelhouse. They're all terrifying.
Right. The best example, I mean, maybe if someone isn't familiar with Twilight Zone, maybe you'd be more familiar with Black Mirror, right? Same kind of idea where each
Yeah,
episode is just like a super unnerving sci-fi story. So like,
yeah.
right, they're not dealing with anything like spells or zombies or whatever.
No, yeah.
But it's more like how tech can, change our world and make it a little creepier, for example, or
Yeah, some of them are like a lot of them are against AI, which like let's go, you
yep.
know? Dude, it's so like I mean, Cruel Universe I would say is my favorite one.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm a huge fan
But
of the
but honestly, they're like right there. Like the difference is like if you're gonna put them like a side by side, it's like a half an inch, dude. Like it's Epitaphs. It's also so good, and they're coming out with 2 new ones.
Yeah, so the
Um,
plan for I don't know what they kind of got going on. It seems like Cruel Universe is only going to have like 5 issues at least to start. Same thing for Epitaphs. I think they're stopping at 5. I don't know if that means like, hey, they're going to do like 5 a year, like enough for like a trade every single year. And hey,
no,
this is the
I
2024 trade, 2025 trade. That could be kind of cool. But it
no,
is a little
I'm gonna say
worrying
this
because
directly.
only 5 have been like announced or whatever. So yeah, I wonder if
I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna look straight into the camera.
okay,
Who is it? Oni Press.
yeah, Oni Press.
Oni. This could just work. Give me one every month. You don't need to make it shorter. It's not. It's not serialized. It's not like you don't have arcs. It's just random stories. Just give me one every month. I, I feel like if they stop it at 5, like it's a waste.
Here's what I
Does that make
think
sense?
they should do. I think you're right. I think the fact that I think EC Comics has a heft to it, right? It's like it's has a
Yeah.
place in comic books on the stands every month.
Yeah.
I think what they should do is get rid of the number. I think maybe the number kind of tricks people into thinking that like, oh, Cruel Universe #3. I haven't read 1 or 2.
Yeah.
They should just do like, hey, this is Cruel Universe April 2024.
The month. Yeah. Exactly.
You
100%.
know what I'm saying? Like make it like lean into
You're a
it.
smart man.
I don't know.
Lean
Listen,
into it, dude.
listen.
They could just keep going forever, and like I
I'm
feel
here
like
for it, dude. I'm with
it,
you.
it was one of my honestly like in the past 3 months probably one of my favorite reading experiences.
If people are
Just
looking,
like,
yeah, like Christian's saying, they're doing more stuff. So they have a actually I think one of them might be like a one shot, maybe like a special for like Halloween. So maybe it's
was
not an
it
ongoing.
Chills?
Yeah, I think that one's a
Yeah,
one shot, and then they're doing a fantasy.
Matt.
So it's gonna be instead of sci-fi or
Yeah,
horror, it's gonna be fantasy related. And then at some point they have a crime thing coming out. So huge ups
dude.
for me, big lover of crime, but
I just want him to keep
I
going.
know, dude.
I love crime. Cody loves crime,
Love
guys.
crime, dude. Love, obsessed with crime. And listen, guys, if you're into anthologies just in general, make sure to check out Hello Darkness from Boom Studios.
Yeah,
That one's been pretty
also
good.
very good.
It's been pretty good.
Yeah,
Um,
I cannot say much. I'm only on issue #1, but what I read, yeah, I mean, send them my way. I'm gonna keep watching. I'm gonna keep reading.
yeah, dude.
I say send them my way as if they're gonna be like, oh my god.
It's like, oh shit, we gotta send him one.
Yeah, we gotta send one right
And
now.
listen, I'll just say this too: if you're looking for, if you're done with all those, if you're caught up on Hello Darkness, Cruel Universe, and Epitaphs from the Abyss, check out Silver Coin. All right, it's all about.
Okay.
It's an anthology series. Each issue has a different writer, but all the art is done by Michael Walsh, who you'll know from Universal Monsters. He's doing the writing and drawing for that series.
Okay.
And each issue
I like
focuses
that.
on like a haunted coin, and it's all these coins are like connected. It's kind of sounds
Yeah.
goofy when you put it that way, but
I mean, no, you love coins. I get it.
yeah, I'm a huge coin guy. So but like one of them, it's like a guitar pick, and it's like, oh, haunted story about his life goes
Okay.
terribly after he plays the haunted guitar pick kind of thing. So
Yeah.
but yeah,
The pick of destiny. I get
you
it.
have all-star
That's
writers coming
cool.
on, like James Tynion the fourth. He did a couple, Ron V
Oh
as well.
yeah.
So
I mean, honestly, let me give a shout out to one person in the Easy Comics space, Stephanie Phillips.
mm,
Phenomenal. Every story she wrote was one of my favorites. Like immediately I read the name and I'd be like, "Fuck you."
yeah, dude.
And
There's
dude,
a
I
couple
mean,
like
some of the
Chris
names in
Condon is
this.
another one that's in a bunch of
Yeah,
those.
Chris Condon's in a lot of
Yeah, and
those.
he's been killing it. I've been liking his stuff over at That Texas Blood, the Image series. So
Yeah,
it's
like
just
just to put
cool.
it into
Nice
like I
little
mean Jason Aaron.
short ideas.
Jason Aaron wrote
Yeah,
one.
yeah. Speaking of
It's great.
all-star talent and anthologies and all that stuff. So I saw today, funny that we were talking about all this. Ice Cream Man, which is another popular horror anthology
Okay.
series, um,
Yeah.
where each issue is different, right? They're doing
Yeah.
a special one-page horror stories issue.
Oh,
So
okay.
each page is going to be its own story, and they have people like Grant. I'm just going to read the names: Grant Morrison,
Okay. Go
Patton
for it. I'm
Oswald,
looking it up.
Zoe Thorogood, Jeff Johns, Jeff Lemire, Matt Fraction, Dennis Camp, who's doing the Ultimate series over at Marvel right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, you have all that creative talent doing one-page horror stories. So that's going to be coming out next year from
Yeah,
Ice
let
Cream
me
Man.
I'm excited for two of those people. Uh it's so Thorogood, just anything, just throw it my way. Great writer. It's lonely at the center of the earth. Terrifying
I know it.
because it's so real. And then Patton Oswalt. That's just he's just a nice guy.
Yeah, dude. Patton Oswalt's been
This is
writing a ton of comics. He's got his
yeah, I love
whole
to see him win. You know.
the Schlub universe, which I haven't been keeping up with, but
Yeah.
that's been going on over at Image. So that's all I got for horror anthologies. Do you want to talk about? Let me talk about two things real quick
Okay.
that I think people should check out. So you guys know I've been doing.
Is this Halloweeny thing?
Yeah,
Or...
yeah. If you're looking for more
Okay, good.
spooky reads, Fatale by Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips. It's all about this main character named Josephine who is immortal. She can't die, and she has the power to kind of like control men and kind of make them do what she wants them to do. So this story is about this girl at different points in her life, and any guy who comes into contact with her, like their life is ruined, right? Because they fall in love with her, they're head over heels. They can't. It's like a curse. Like they can't stop themselves from falling in love with her, and so she, whether she is doing it on purpose or not, that dude's life is just ruined.
Yeah,
Um,
it's gone.
yeah, and so it's kind of interesting to see like just the wake of all these men that she's just destroyed, because she is immortal,
Yeah,
right? And then there's this
yeah.
cult that's chasing her down, and they kind of want like her power. It's like a Cthulhu cult, so you have people that can shoot
Okay.
tentacles out of their heads. And dude, it's just so good, dude. I've been loving it. Finished it last month. Edward Baker, Sean Phillips. You guys know it's already good, but definitely check it out.
Yeah, that's your guys, dude.
They do crime stuff, but dude, they also got the chops for like horror or cult type
No,
of things.
it sounds fun.
Yeah,
I'm excited for it. You always recommend me good. Like if you recommend me something, I'm like, okay, I gotta listen to this guy. I try to resist it just because I'm an asshole, but like it's always good.
the other thing, dude, and this is my read for October. It's perfect for spooky season. The Hellboy, monster-sized Hellboy. For those that didn't see my video, I'll try to pull it out here. This thing's massive.
Yeah, pull it out, Cody.
Oh, jeez. Okay, pulling it out. Here we go.
Yeah,
This
it's
my head for comparison. This is how far I'm done. I've been reading like 50 pages a day, 100 pages a day, and I'm only this far done.
yeah, no, it's
But
Beautiful art.
Mike Mignola, Hellboy, um, the hype is real, man. Hellboy is one of those series that everybody says you got to read. It's so good, dude. No one
I
told me,
had the
dude.
first Omni. Yeah.
No one told me that it's a crime series. Like it's Hellboy going into like some town with like a mystery, and he's got to like kind of solve what's going on. Nobody's told me that.
Dude, I have the art is beautiful, and I think that's my favorite part. Like, I was looking at, I don't know if you can pull it up like on your side. I was looking at the cover for Mystique #1, and it kind of gave me that Mike Mignola like vibe, just like the way it's drawn. And I was like, I haven't read Hellboy, but just like how iconic the look is, I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to read Mystique.
That's a Hellboy type. Yeah, that's a Mike Mignola type of style for
Yeah.
sure.
I was like, I'm gonna have to read this now, and I have the first Omni for Hellboy somewhere
Dude,
back there.
it's all that it's cracked up to be. Hellboy is such a badass character. He's not sure why he's here on the world, but he's just trying to like, find his place.
Yeah,
You got awesome side characters too, like Abe Sapien, who's
yeah.
kind of like a creature from the Black Lagoon type of dude.
It gives me like Umbrella Academy, like Doom Patrol vibes, just darker.
Yes, dude.
Um,
Okay, so you just said Doom Patrol, 100%, man. That link that you're looking for, like the goofy kind of off the wall,
yeah,
it's been a really fun ride. So I've been loving Hellboy. Everybody's been recommending it. You guys are right. It turns out,
yeah.
that's been good. Uh,
Um,
One other thing, dude, that I want to hear you talk about before we get into like what we've been watching. Tell me about your
okay.
X-Men journey. You mentioned Mystique. I'm not reading very
Yeah.
many X-Men books, and by very many I mean
I
at all. So tell me
so
how
I
your
actually
journey's going.
there's two things before we go into X-Men. I have a fall recommendation
Yeah, yeah.
that for you, Cody,
Ooh, yes, that's right.
for you
Is
specifically.
this
Well, for everyone, but
is this
you, I think you would love it.
the Autumnal?
Yeah, the Autumnal.
That might be how you say it.
Vault Comics. Hey, you can say however you want, dude.
True.
It's your show. Just just call it the book if you want. It's Vault Comics. It's so I had this thing where like I like people recommending me things, but I will admit I'm not the best. Not the best at reading them. And I was reading Cruel Universe, and I remembered our friend Tessa's a nerd, had recommended this Vault book, The Autumnal. It's like her favorite book right now. And it came out in 2021. I was like, you know what? I'll give it a try. I'll give it a chance. I'll read one issue. And I didn't stand up until I was done.
Nice.
I read the entire series. I was filming a video for it. And you know how like I was pissed. I was filming it alone in the forest. Mind you, I was filming it alone in the forest the day after watching Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And I didn't notice until a friend of mine texted me like, "Hey, how was the Texas Chainsaw Massacre?" And that's when I started looking around like, "Oh my god, I'm alone in the woods." But dude, I mean, the video didn't turn out. I was gonna refilm it this week, but Milton got in the way.
Oh yeah.
Dude, it's such a good book. It's a horror book. It sort of has like a mystery aspect to it. It's just honestly, it might be like in general, like, and I don't like to exaggerate when it comes to books because I have a hard time making like my top tens or whatever. It might have cracked top 10.
Wow.
It was
dude.
just one of those books. Just one of those books that immediately, like as soon as I finished issue #1, I was like, "Oh, this is something special."
Nice.
And I've never heard anyone talk about it.
No, I've never heard of it.
Dude, what a phenomenal book! Like, go read it today if you can.
The
I found it
Autumnal.
on like I don't even remember. Dude, it's phenomenal. Anyone looking for a good spooky fall read, The Autumnal, Vault Comics.
Yeah,
Buy it.
Vault.
It's like $20 for the whole thing.
It's a shame what happened to Vault. I think they might have closed up or something like that. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm thinking of a different one. Maybe I'm thinking of like Aftershock or something like that. Never mind.
Yeah.
Forget what I just said.
I think Vault's still okay. I think they reposted one of my things the other day.
Yeah. I think
About The
Vault's fine.
Autumnal.
I think I was thinking of something else. But no, dude, that's it. I mean,
Yeah, and then X-Men, it's okay. I mean, it's good. There's some that I prefer more than
Yep.
others. Like, I'm not like the biggest fan of X Factor or X Force.
okay.
Just not grabbing me right now. But like all of the X-Men one, like Uncanny, Exceptional, just normal X-Men, they're all really good. Dazzler was phenomenal. Storm was phenomenal. Wolverine was amazing. Like it's a good point to start. Like, yeah, you're gonna be like kind of lost with the Krakoa thing,
Yeah,
but fuck it, you learn with it.
that's the way to do it,
It's
right?
one of those. It is like I will say, if you're trying to get into X-Men, it's gonna be a lot of books. It's gonna be like at least honestly like 6, 7 books a month. Get ready for that. It's not easy, but I've been meaning to get into X-Men for like years since we started this show, probably.
No, I know that was
Oh
like
yeah,
one of our gaps
been doing
was
this thing for 2 years, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And dude, it's great. I'm happy. I feel like I'm a part of like a cool group,
Nice, dude. That's cool.
Yeah, that's my favorite part about it. Like, it does feel like a crew. Like, if someone be like, "You reading X-Men?" and I'm like, "Yes, I am."
Nice, dude. Hey, listen, I'm glad to hear it. I think at this point, if some issue number 3s have started coming out, maybe some issue number 4s, then I can start reading
Yeah,
on
issue
Marvel
number.
Unlimited. Um,
Yeah, issue number 3 came out for
X-Men main title, maybe.
a
Or...
bunch of. No, X-Men main title's on 5.
Oh,
I
dude.
think.
So yeah, so I got to catch up on Marvel. Not catch up because they're going to be behind 3 months regardless. But I got
Yeah,
to check
X-Men
out.
number 5 came out last week on the 2nd,
Mm.
and Uncanny number 4 is coming out on the 16th. NYX, phenomenal. That's with Kamala Khan. Like, that one's my favorite, probably. It's really good. I'm like happy to be like to have taken the jump,
Mm.
taken the plunge into X-Men. But I don't have anything like interesting to say about it yet because I'm still catching up, like mentally, kind of like understanding the dynamics of the group.
Right, right.
It's really fun, dude. I will say, Kitty Pryde, cool as hell.
She's a standout character
Rogue,
for you. Yeah, yeah.
cool as hell. Yeah, like from what I've read, like Rogue, Kitty Pryde, and then like just Wolverine. But I feel like he's always gonna be cool,
Yeah, yeah. He's always dude. Wolverine's like Wolverine's like pizza. He's like you can never be like that bad. He's always gonna be like pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah,
The pizza's never gonna be
and
that bad.
No, it's always gonna be like, oh my god, it's pizza.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
Like, oh my god,
if
it's
you give me
Wolverine.
like Lunchables pizza, I'm still gonna call it pizza.
Yeah, yeah. 100%, 100%. Listen, dude.
But that's it. That's what I've been reading.
Before we how do we do the watching stuff? Let me think about this. I'm just gonna say something, and then you're gonna tell me your thoughts about it. Okay.
Okay, that's good.
So let's start in the section, right? This is gonna be kind of movies that have released recent, so not like classics. Like you sent me some classics. Tell me about Trap, dude.
Yeah.
What'd you think of Trap? Because that one's like
Trap,
so memeable, dude.
Dude, Trap was one of those things where I went to watch it just because, like, the trailer looked good, but I didn't trust Shyamalan.
He's a hard guy to trust, dude.
It was good because I feel like he stayed in his lane when it comes to, like, it was like a very real movie. Like, it didn't have any supernatural aspect to it or anything. It was about like serial killers and mental health and very suspenseful. I recommend it.
It's an interesting premise, man. Definitely wanted to check it out.
Yeah, and like it's kind of like you feel bad because the whole time you're rooting for this guy, You're not rooting, but you don't want him to get caught.
Right, right. Even though
and I will
what's the crime? He's like a serial killer or something like that, or
yeah, he's a serial killer, the Butcher.
The Butcher. I mean, geez, to get a nickname like the Butcher, you got to be doing some butchering.
And I will say, like, it kind of like the twist was good. I mean, the twist is not like, oh, what the hell? Like, you already know he's a killer. Like, it cannot be like the twist is just like how they take the story, how they handle it. It was really good. I really enjoyed it.
Interesting.
I don't remember what I gave it. I think I gave it like an 8 out of 10, maybe. I will say I'm really generous with my ratings. I give it an 8 out of 10.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice little 8 out of 10.
Hit me with the next one.
Dude, tell me about Alien Romulus, because that's something that I saw as well.
Okay, I'll say this. Alien Romulus was really good. I forgot about it until today.
Fair. That's actually fair.
You know what?
Like when I saw it, when I was coming out of theaters, I was like, damn, that was a pretty good Alien movie.
Oh my god.
But then it's like, oh, okay. Like I saw this one dude's breakdown, and he's like, yo, this is kind of beat for beat like the first Alien movie. It's kind of beat for beat like the
Mm-hmm.
third, like it just follows the Alien formula. It doesn't do anything super
It's
crazy, but yeah,
it's good.
right,
It's not a bad movie, and I enjoyed it. And when I walked out, I was like, I gotta watch the others. That was it, though.
yeah, yeah,
I'm probably not gonna rewatch it, or if I do, it's gonna be years from now.
yeah. Seeing it in theaters was crazy with
Yeah,
the humanoid alien
yeah,
fusion. That was
yeah.
bizarre to see.
I feel like if you're not in the theater, it'll just be a movie. I think the experience of being there physically made it better.
Yeah, for sure. It's just gonna be in the solid alien movie bucket. There's a lot
Yeah,
of those. But yeah,
yeah.
nothing
I'd
wrong with
probably
it.
give it like an 8 as well.
Yep.
Yeah, I give it an 8. You see, like I'm very generous.
Yeah, you are generous. I mean, you like tear down a movie and you're like, yeah, 8.5.
Yeah,
um,
I'm very generous with things. It's just like
let me
you know.
let me yap about Penguin real quick. Colin
Yeah,
Farrell.
go. I haven't watched it.
Yeah,
I'll tell
so
you that.
dude, Penguin's pretty solid, man. I haven't watched like the latest episode. I don't even know when they come out, dude. I'm so like lost with. I guess I could just look it up. It's probably on Sundays or Fridays or something, but I
Yeah,
just watch him whenever I get the mood to watch him. But Penguin's pretty solid. I mean, Colin Farrell is just
yeah,
the same dude from the movie.
yeah,
It's cool to be in Matt Reeves, Batman universe again. Um, I think they've got a pretty solid formula. I'd like to see them kind of expand it and do more shows. I think it shows that it's possible, and it's just
yeah.
a crime and noir type of story. So
That's
I'm
fair.
already a sucker for it.
Kristen Milioti.
What's up?
Kristen Milioti.
Oh, true, dude.
She's in there.
She is
Love
like
her.
a standout actress. She's in.
Dude, she's amazing.
Yeah, she's been killing it in all of her projects recently.
Yeah,
So, yeah, definitely check out Penguin, man. It's just solid Batman
yeah.
universe show. Interesting side characters as well. So yeah, I'm excited for that to continue, and
Very
then
excited.
Batman 2, man. Give it to me. I'm here for it.
Yeah. You've been watching Agatha?
Yeah, so I wrote down in my notes Agatha question mark because I was gonna ask you if you've been watching Agatha. I haven't
And
been,
I'm
but
enjoying it.
I've
I'm enjoying it.
it's piqued my interest because whenever WandaVision came out, I remember we were talking about it. Like I think that was my favorite, you know,
Yeah.
Marvel thing in a while.
It
So
hits some of those like WandaVision I mean it follows the story directly.
gotcha. Yeah,
So that's good. I think it's really good. I mean it's not the best thing the MCU's put out.
dude.
But it's really good.
Aubrey
I'm enjoying it.
Plaza's
I
in
mean
it though, dude. I'm in love with Aubrey Plaza. She's beautiful. I love her.
yeah.
I'm
She
obsessed with
is. I
her.
mean, I will give you that. Okay, you can stop now.
I'm obsessed with
But
her.
yes, that is my job. Nah, dude, it was just one of those things where like I was like, I'll watch it, and it was good.
Nice.
And now a new episode came out like yesterday. I haven't watched it because of this show, but
Right, right.
as soon as I'm done recording here, I'm probably gonna watch that.
Let me tell you that. I'll put it this way, dude. I'll put it this way. I'd be more interested in watching Agatha than I am finishing Secret Wars or Secret
Yeah,
or whatever
you
it's
sh- you
called. The
should
one with Nick Fury.
you should
You know what I'm saying?
you should give it a chance for sure. Like it's really like
Right. Like I'm more interested in
it's
watching Agatha than some of the more recent Marvel shows that I
yeah.
can't even think of their names. You know what I'm saying? So
I recommend it. I think you would like it.
nice, dude.
It's definitely better than Secret Invasion.
All right, tell me about Panic Room, dude, because I thought that was so interesting when you sent me this. Panic Room. Are
My
we talking
brother
about the
was my
Jodie
brother.
Foster,
Yeah, yeah. My
Kristen
brother.
uh,
Yeah, Kristen Stewart.
Stewart? Yeah,
My brother was looking for a good thriller,
it's a good thriller, man. That'll thrill you.
and that I was just like, I think I made a list, and I was like, I'll tell you, I think I still have the list of like thrillers I made because I was like, you know what, like maybe this will help. It was Disturbia, Panic Room, and Zodiac.
Okay,
Um,
Zodiac is
so
a little slow. Like it's
yeah,
tough to
that's
recommend to
that.
people. I find, but
Disturbia is amazing. I love it with Shia LaBeouf. That's the one where he gets like house arrest.
I've never seen it. No, I've never seen it.
That one's really good. But Panic Room, I was like, like he has to watch some good movies, and I think Panic Room was a good choice. Jared Leto's in it. I had forgotten that.
Oh, dude, forgot about that.
Uh,
He's one of the burglars, right?
yeah,
Nice.
it was just a good movie. I don't know, man. I gave it like a 10 out of 10. I think when I watched it for the
Nice.
first time. Probably like a 9 out of 10 now. But
Tell me about Good Will Hunting. I love that one, dude.
Good Will Hunting. I woke up in the middle of the night and I felt really small.
Dang.
Like
Okay.
my room looked huge for some reason. Like the moonlight was hitting it, and I was like, "Damn, I really want to watch Good Will Hunting." You know, I don't know why. Like I turned the TV on to like find a distraction, and I was like, "Oh, Good Will Hunting, that's a good movie." And then I fell asleep, didn't watch it, and then started getting TikToks about Good Will Hunting. And then my brother wanted to watch a movie. Good Will Hunting showed up. He was like, "I'm not gonna watch that shit." So I waited for him to fall asleep, and I was like, "This is my time to watch it." And
Dude,
I cried once again. It's a phenomenal movie.
it's a great movie, and the problem with it though is, like you're saying, I'm not in the mood to watch Good Will Hunting all the time. You got to be in the mood. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? You got to be in the mood. Once you're in the mood, I'll sit down and watch Good Will Hunting.
it
It's a good one. It's a
hits.
good one.
Yeah, it hits. And like I feel like the universe was just sending me like signs, like you have to watch this, dude. Because like it was like 3 a.m. and it just showed up, and I was like, that's a good. I can watch it right now. I'm like emotionally,
Mm.
in the mood. And then I fell asleep, and thankfully TikTok the next day was like, "Hey, you were thinking about this."
Right, just remind you.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Just to remind you, this was on your brain. You didn't tell us, but we know.
Let's
So yeah,
close out,
Good
dude.
Will Hunting.
Yeah, Good Will Hunting's good. Let's close it out, dude. For what we've been watching, tell me about Wilfred. Wilfred, and then we can jump in and do some life updates because it kind of relates to a project you've been working on.
Yeah.
So tell me about your Wilfred.
You want me to say why I've been watching Wilfred, or do you want me to
Yeah, yeah,
just?
just the whole Wilfred thing, and then we can get into some life updates and close the episode
Okay,
out.
so
So,
I was sitting down thinking like I want to make a YouTube video. My last YouTube video I made that's not like a vlog was a review of Howard the Duck.
it popped
And I
off,
was like,
dude.
I
It was so
enjoyed
good.
doing it. I enjoyed it. It was fun. People seemed to like it. I didn't want to just sit down and make like a silly video. Like I wanted to like once again, I'm not just a silly guy, you know?
Right, Christian's got
So
depth.
I was
He's like an onion.
yeah, I got layers, bitch. I was like, let me get, like start just watching TV. I was like, I started thinking too much and I needed a distraction. Opened up Hulu and Wilfred was there, and I was like, damn, I forget this is like one of my top 3 shows of all time.
Mm.
Wilfred's phenomenal. Elijah Wood, Jason Gahn, like it's amazing. And I was like, that'd be like really. I know there's an Australian version. It started out as a short film, and then an Australian show ran for 2 seasons. It's like 16 episodes, and then they made the American version. Same guy playing Wilfred, and I was like, that'd be really cool. And I made a story on Instagram saying like, hey, I want to make a video about Wilfred because first of all, before we get into that, really good show about mental health,
Yep.
about like just mental health and understanding being a human. I posted a story like, hey, I want to make a video about Wilfred. If anyone has any information, let me know. And I tagged the Wilfred account, not knowing it was him,
Right,
the
like
creator of the
still
show.
being run
Yeah,
like the
yeah, like it's his personal account, Jason Gahn, and he liked the story, and that was it. And I was like, ooh, I think I texted you like, Cody,
yeah.
should I just bite the bullet and be like, hey, I want to do an interview? And you were like, I think you said, I don't know.
I mean, it
Or
just
you said
sounds
something like, I
crazy.
don't
It's
know.
just like, but
Yeah,
Wilfred, when you explain the idea of like, hey, it's one of my favorite shows, and
it's
you
a
wanted to
cult
work on a
classic.
YouTube video, right? So it kind of just seems like the perfect storm.
Yeah,
Pun not intended. That's not a hurricane joke, by the way. So,
no, it was, and he said yes.
yep.
Thankfully, he said yes, and we're gonna record tomorrow. Hopefully, I mean it's scheduled. He knows. I know. Hurricane, didn't stop anything. So here's to hoping it does happen tomorrow. But yeah, Wilfred's just a very important show to me.
Mm.
I don't know. I watched it in 2011 for the first time when it came out, and in Ecuador. So like I was still like back there. I was 13, and at first you're like, oh, kind of silly, a dog smoking weed, and then like you watch it and it's devastating.
Yeah.
The first scene in the show is Elijah Wood like writing his suicide
Yes.
note.
That is what, like, I don't remember a ton from Wilfred. I know that I have like a reverence for it, and I like it, but like
Yeah.
you're saying, that definitely sticks out. Like the first scene.
Yeah, and I don't know. It was just a thing that I was like, I could just do this. So the plan for anyone who's interested and like maybe wants to know a little bit about the project, it's gonna be a video, like an essay about cult classic. First of all, the transition from short film to Australian show to American show, and just the legacy of the show, what it means, all of that. It's gonna have segments of an interview with Jason Gahn in it, and then I will post the full interview separately as its own thing called Christian Has a Guest.
Yes.
Try to come up with a name for the show, and I was like, well, it's just me and a guest.
I want
Because
to
the thing is, I didn't.
invite, no, like you're saying, dude, I know that you have like an urge to interview people. I kind of have something similar, but more for like maybe comic talk people, but you're interviewing like actual people, like actors and such. So yeah, I think it's a really cool project.
The thing is, like, to me, I didn't want to like say like, oh, it's just for actors or
Right,
writers,
right.
because maybe I'll want to talk to anyone.
Right, right. But just like your
Anyone
first
who's
step
like
is like more lofty than I ever thought. So yeah.
So Christian Has a Guest just seemed better because I'm not like saying like Christian and actors,
Yeah.
Like, it can be anything. So it's still always gonna be about projects I really like. Like I want to do like Over the Garden Wall, Walking Dead, like like just a bunch of things I like. But it's still gonna be like my style of humor in the show, like in the episode, the video, and then the podcast itself is gonna be like an actual interview.
Right.
So yeah, that's exciting. That's my life update.
I got a life update, bro.
Go for
Marvel Comics sent me a package, brother.
Yeah.
My brother in Christ. I was like, when I got that email, I didn't know if it was real. And hopefully this doesn't come off as like braggy to anybody out there. I'm not trying to brag about it. I hope you guys know that. But, as someone who's been grinding for doing comic book content, I mean, we've been at it for a long time, dude. Like, if you think about, like, now I don't know if we're new comic book readers anymore. The whole kind of angle of it was that we were new.
It's been 3 years.
Yeah. So they sent me, I've been using it as a laptop stand, but they sent me this Blood Hunt package and did a little unboxing for them and tagged them. I sent it to them by email, and the lady said she really liked it, which she didn't need to say that, you know what I'm saying? So I appreciate it.
Dude, it was one of those things. I remember. Okay, can I talk about like what you said to me immediately after you got the email?
Which one? Yeah, go for it.
Because
I remember.
I got a separate email from another comic book company when you got the Marvel email.
Okay.
I got Image Comics was like, hey, can we send you some books?
Right.
It's like Cody's like, hey, I just got an email from Marvel. I was like, I just got an email from Image, and Cody said, fuck.
Right.
Not that, like, first of all, let's put it out there. Marvel is phenomenal, and Cody was like, "That's phenomenal." Cody just also likes Marvel and also likes Image Comics.
Yeah, it's funny because like in terms of stuff that I buy, like if you want to talk about like which company I've been given more money lately, it's definitely Image. Yeah. So yeah. Which, that being said, dude, I think that's another kind of life update for us. Maybe since we've last recorded, even I don't even remember, but Image Comics has been sending us both a bunch of stuff. Like they sent me and it was weird too. Let me run this by you, see if it makes any sense. But they sent me the Scotty Young cover of I Hate Fairyland number 16 or whatever. They sent other creators like 3 copies to do like giveaways. But like they only sent me one. I'm not complaining, dude. It's just kind of
no.
It's like weird. It's like I'm on like a different list or something.
Let's make it even more clear.
Yeah.
They didn't tell us they were gonna send us that.
Yeah, no, exactly. So like whenever you got an email where they were saying, I've only gotten one email ever, and it was about Power Fantasy.
Yeah, me
Everything
too.
else they sent me
Power Fantasy.
Exactly. Since then, it's been just
they sent me Power Fantasy.
Yeah,
and then they emailed me saying like, hey, we want to send you another book.
Right.
And
they never sent that second email to me saying they're going to send me more stuff.
They were like, the moon is following us, and I was like, the moon is following us, perfect. Just send it. It's DWJ. No, yeah, DWJ, man. And then I Hate Fairyland just showed up, and I will say, Image Comics, it worked because I hadn't read I Hate Fairyland, and now I have to catch up because I'm a completionist.
Yeah, so for me,
you want to send me the collected edition,
right?
Go ahead.
That'd be the money stuff, dude. We start getting like trades, and that'd be pretty cool.
No, but I think like okay, I'll tell you this, like not to get too like corny and
Yeah,
shit. I was scrolling through my like camera roll, just just looking at like I think I looked up the word like TikTok or something, and I had a screenshot of when I first started when near mint condition started following me.
Mm,
Like this early on, like I had like 100 followers maybe, and I remember like I had the screenshot because I was like, this is the biggest thing that's ever gonna happen to me.
right.
Uncanny Omar, that's it. And it's sort of like, and then I'm looking at that, and I look to my left, and I just had like my pile of distillery books and Image Comics books, and I was like, oh, we've moved. Oh yeah. Also, uh, just to put it out there, distillery, this is phenomenal, dude. Life, great book. Yeah, dude, it's I feel lucky. It's not a brag, and I'll tell you why it's not a brag. Because I feel like you and I are in the same space. Because every time I get one of those books, I'm like, there's no way they keep sending me things.
Yeah. No, that's why it does feel
Yeah.
like a one-off. That's why, dude, honestly, that's why I'm like wondering if the Marvel thing, if it'll blossom and grow into anything else.
Yeah.
I'm just curious, but I haven't heard anything from Marvel since then, but
Yeah. I think a brag is more like when you're just like, yeah, I'm cool as shit. I'm better than you.
right. I think
I don't,
everybody listening
I'm,
is aware that like, dude, we've been grinding for a decent,
yeah, for me, it's
it's
more like, even when they send me things, I'm like, there's no way.
right.
There's no way they're watching my video.
So listen, man,
Uh,
Image, Distillery, Marvel now.
any,
Sky's
yeah.
the limit, my man. Sky's the limit, dude.
Yeah. It's fun. And I want to thank everyone who watches this.
No, yeah, I mean,
Because
it's
it
not
also
possible
helps.
that no one watches. If no one
Yeah.
watched our stuff, these opportunities would not be.
100%.
And I guess that's a good way to leave it. I'll just say this, like, look forward to a lot of color break going forward.
Yeah.
Christian and I, dude, we're gonna hit next year pretty hard, dude. We're gonna punch it right in the face. The
I
debt,
mean, yeah,
guys.
we're gonna.
The debt is going down. The conventions next year are going up. We're gonna hit
Yeah.
some conventions. Gonna be doing some panels,
Also, I mean,
man.
we're also gonna go hard this year for the remaining of the year.
Yeah, well, harder than nothing, which is
Yeah, 100%.
relative. I mean,
I'm
but
excited, dude. I was talking to you about this. I just want to say for the viewers, it was like an itch that I had to film this show.
I know what you mean, man. It's like I was saying it at the beginning, right? Like my life's kind of settled down a little bit. The wedding kind of stuff's a little over, the move's a little over.
Yeah.
Now we're just settling. We're living in Maine. We're back, up in New England, having a good
Yeah.
time. Beautiful.
Let's just
fall
say that
New England.
when Cody says the wedding thing's over,
Yeah,
he's still with his wife.
It's over, dude. Only lasted. We just celebrated our 6-month wedding anniversary. It's over, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, imagine that. Yeah, I can finally make videos. Got rid of that girl. Got a studio apartment. Nah, dude. It's great. That's great.
Yeah, dude.
Very happy.
Life's great, man. Hopefully everybody listening is staying safe out there. I mean, be careful if you're in hurricane conditions. I guess I don't know when hurricane season ends.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's going to continue for a little bit.
Yeah, little PSA. Even like it didn't. Even if it didn't hit around where I live, and the people that were saying this were right, it's not a joke.
Yeah.
It's very serious.
No, I know. There's
Like,
people like
never be
outside
like,
filming. And they're trying to like chase
Yeah, dude, like,
tornadoes. And they're
For the people who are like, I mean, like, I'll put the picture up right now. There was a tornado like behind my house,
Yeah, yeah.
a mile or two away. Like from my living room, you could see it. It's scary. It's something to take very seriously, and I want everyone to stay safe. We care about. I mean, I was gonna say we care about our followers, but we care about just anyone who's in the tornado area.
Yeah, for sure. And in addition to that, I think we might do we'll do another episode before the election, but I'll just say this too. Register to vote,
Yeah.
man. Important, especially if you live
Register
in a
to vote.
swing state.
Yeah, you know how they say like this is the most important election of your lifetime. It is.
Yeah, I don't want to tell people. I'm not one to tell people how to vote, but I'll just say this: if you vote for Donald Trump, stop listening to this podcast right fucking now. I swear to God. That's all I'll say about that. But
Go register to vote.
yeah.
And then yeah, you know what to do.
That's it, dude. I think that's been Color Break episode number 44, your third favorite comic podcast. I've been Cody. That's been Christian. Thank you guys for listening.